Thomas home run. The Orioles came back last night to take Game 2. Tonight, Game 3. Lineups, first pitch next. Brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. Comcast, there are over 10,000 on-demand choices from Comcast, and most are free. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Back here at Comerica Park, Edwin Jackson and the rest of the Detroit Tigers taking the field tonight as we get you ready for baseball. This will be the third game in this four-game series between the Tigers and the Orioles. And we want to remind you that if Detroit combines for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to Arby's tomorrow. Get a free regular roast beef sandwich. You can find a copy of the box score in your local newspaper or at foxsports.com in the Major League Baseball section. The Orioles in town for Game 3 in this series. Each team with a victory. Brian Roberts is their leadoff man. He's having a pretty good series here for Baltimore. And here's their starting lineup presented by the Romani Eye Institute. It'll be Roberts leading it off at second base. Nolan Reimold is in left. Adam Jones in center field. Nick Markakis batting cleanup tonight in right field, followed by Aubrey Huff. Melvin Morey is at third. Luke Scott with the big numbers against the Tigers, the DH. Greg Zahn will do the catching, and Cesar Izturis is batting ninth and playing short. The down scouting report is on Edwin Jackson.
For those of you that play golf, you know exactly what a mulligan is. That means it's a do-over, and that's exactly what we're going to give Jackson. His last start against Cleveland, it was not a good one for him. Just 4 innings. He gave up 2 runs, but he threw 115 pitches. Wins have been hard to come by this year for Jackson. In his last 9 starts, just 1 win with 6 no decisions. But he has pitched outstanding baseball here at Comerica Park. 4-0 in his last 6. This is how they'll line up behind Jackson. It's your Chrysler and Jeep Superstores defense. Thomas, Granderson, Ordonez. Polanco has a 65-game errorless streak at second base. And boy, is he awfully steady there. Underrated defender, in my opinion. Laird back behind the plate, and EJ on the bump tonight.
So we are ready for baseball on a gorgeous night here in the Motor City. 78 degrees our game time temperature as Brian Roberts settles into the batter's box. Roberts, Reimold, and Jones in the first inning for Baltimore, and here we go. First pitch of the ball game is hammered back out of play, 0-1.
Looks like they're going to attack Jackson the same way they attacked Verlander the other day in the very first inning. They were swinging early and often, and that's because Jackson will throw you a lot of fastballs.
Roberts has hit safely in 8 consecutive games as he bounces this one to first baseman Miguel Cabrera. 2 pitches, 1 out here in the first. As we check out the numbers on Edwin Jackson, he's thrown a lot of innings this year.
That he has. He comes in with a very good earned run average at 2.64, 139 and 2/3 innings. He has struck out a bunch, has not walked that many, and the opponent's batting average is very, very low at 223.
Here's Nolan Reimold, the left fielder, batting .277, just 1 for 7 in the series, but he has a couple of walks.
You know, Jackson was commenting on his last start in Cleveland, where I told you he threw 115 pitches in just 4 innings. He said he would not change one thing about the way that he attacked Cleveland, but gave them a lot of credit because he said they spoiled a lot of good strikes. They fouled off a lot of pitches that night against Edwin.
The 2-0 pitch on the way. Well, it's something that Jackson has had to deal with this year. It's something that Verlander has had to deal with this year.
It seems like when Jackson goes out there, he does not quite have his good stuff. At the end of the day, he's still only giving up 2 runs.
The 2-1 pitch. Well, Jackson 5 times has pitched into the 7th inning this year and received a no decision. 5 times. And we all know that with a little bit of luck and a little bit more support offensively, he would have more in the victory column.
He is the definition of a horse, and so is Justin Verlander. And when they go out there on most nights, Jim knows that his bullpen is going to get a breather.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. And the first strikeout of the night for Edwin Jackson.
Yeah, that appeared to be a slider at 89 miles an hour. He's already throwing 95 with his fastball. When you throw the same pitch out of the same arm slot, you can see the fingers kind of spread a little further. And that's a nice slider. Nice tight slider.
2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up the center fielder, Adam Jones. Jackson off to a nice start here, retiring 2 very quickly. Jones batting .298. The Tigers, for the most part, have been able to handle him in this series. 1 for 9.
He batted 4th last night for Baltimore and said that was the first time that he had ever batted 4th in any lineup anywhere.
Is he a number 4 hitter down the road?
He will be a middle of the order guy, whether it's 3rd or 4th or 5th.
Little pop-up hit towards second base. Cabrera steps in front of Polanco, and neither one has it. An odd-looking infield hit for Adam Jones.
Batting 4th, the right fielder, number 21, Nick Markakis.
I don't know if Polanco's going to catch this ball or not. Probably not. And I'm not sure if they get an out at first base, even if Cabrera goes to the bag initially.
Yeah, that's the question. I think had Cabrera gone straight to the bag, he's probably still safe. So a 2-out infield hit, and that'll bring up Nick Markakis. Markakis batting an even .300, 4 for 9 in the series. They've not been able to figure him out. He's hit a home run and knocked in 3.
Jackson has not been able to figure him out in his career either. Markakis is 5 for 9 against Edwin. He's a good player.
You know, he really is. And aside from his offensive abilities, he has 11 assists this year, which is tied for the major league lead. Yet not too many people really talk about Nick Markakis.
Well, they say that he threw about 95 miles an hour in college.
The 1-0 is up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, he had a big game in the ball game last night.
He hit it out there where the big boys hang out at, in right center field. Up there by Mr. Harwell's name.
And that is a poke. Got himself a good hitter's count here. 2 balls and no strikes.
Usually when Jackson falls behind 2 balls and no strikes, he doesn't throw you breaking balls and changeups. He comes right after you with the fastball. And we'll see what he wants to do here to Markakis early. He knows Markakis has got good numbers against him.
2-1. Markakis 76 RBIs, among the top 10 in that category. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second. He is not in time. It skips into center field. Jones is on his feet. He'll head to third. One of the few times this year Gerald Laird was not on the money with his throw.
Jones had a pretty good jump. It's a pretty good ball for Laird to throw, but anytime you see the base runner with this kind of jump, your natural tendency is to rush. And usually as a catcher, when you rush, you open up that front shoulder too soon, and then the ball kind of tails to the second base side of the bag, as it did there.
Stolen base, E2. Puts a runner at third. And the 2-2 pitch. Well, it was 2 outs, nobody on. Then an odd-looking infield hit, and all of a sudden Jones is standing at third, and the Orioles have a chance to score the first run. They have scored first in each of the first 2 games in the series.
He's got Markakis set up for a changeup here, should he want to throw it, and has confidence in that pitch tonight, but he must get it down and away. Ooh, fastball.
Where was it? A little bit low, apparently 3-2. Ryan Gorman, the home plate umpire tonight. Full count. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Tipped it into the glove for strike 3. So no damage done. A couple of strikeouts for Edwin Jackson. Brought to you by Big Boy, and here it is. Curtis Granderson leads it off. He'll play in center field. Placido Polanco at second base. Clete Thomas hitting third tonight. And Miguel Cabrera cleans up. He's followed by Carlos Guillen, Maglio Ordonez. Your bottom 3 is Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, and Adam Everett. They are facing the right-handed offerings of Jeremy Guthrie, who goes to work, and the first pitch is popped in the air. Foul ground, third base side. Mora will get there, and a nice running play. 1 up and 1 away. Here's the scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
He was our opening day starter this year, and do not let the numbers fool you. His stuff is much better than the numbers. He comes in 7-10 with an earned run average over 5. He's given up tons of home runs this year, 26 to be exact. And he's also had a difficult time of getting out of the first inning. He's given up 22 first inning runs this year.
Placido Polanco batting in the 2 slot has hit safely in 5 in a row. Well, the Tigers would like to be the team getting off to the early lead tonight. They have fallen behind in the first 2 games in this series.
Guthrie has all 4 pitches. A fastball anywhere from 93 to 97. He's got a slider. He's got a curve. He's got a changeup. And he's a smart fellow as well. He went to Stanford University.
Chopper hit to third for Melvin Mora.
Take a look at the defense behind Guthrie in the ball game. Of course, it's presented by Honda Bloomfield. You've got Markakis in the outfield. Mario talked about the fact that he's got 11 assists this year, but all three of their outfielders can really throw. At second base, they have one of the better second basemen in all of baseball that no one really knows about, in Brian Roberts. And Greg Zahn is behind the plate tonight, catching the first game of the series for him.
Clay Thomas with 2 outs. It's amazing how many times when describing one of these Orioles players we say is very undervalued or nobody talks about them. This is a really good offensive team. They came in third in the league, yet they just haven't won too many games this year, so nobody talks about them.
Everybody talks about the Yankees and, of course, the Boston Red Sox in their division. And they do not play on national television. That also helps.
Dave Tremblay is their manager in his 3rd season. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fleet way ahead in the count. Thomas 2 out of 5 in the series with the walk-off on Monday. And there's ball 4. 4-pitch walk there for Thomas. Guthrie is 30 years old, was born in Oregon, Roseburg, Oregon. He's facing Miguel Cabrera with 2 away.
We were talking about Guthrie when he made a start at Camden Yards when we were there earlier in the year, and we were amazed at the fact that he played football, basketball, and baseball, and he was the MVP on all 3 of those teams.
Well, just to be able to participate in those 3, because they are obviously consecutively in all the different seasons in high school, but to excel in them and play quarterback.
The MVP of all 3 teams. They overlap. So you're going to miss some time with one of the teams.
He was also a kicker and a quarterback on the football team.
And we might as well throw in their class valedictorian, too.
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that.
Cleveland let him get away.
Miguel Cabrera with a runner at first base. Zahn down to block it, and the count goes 2-1. Guthrie last year led their team with 10 wins, and he threw 190 innings, but he also led their team with 12 losses. Quick throw, they got him. Cleet Thomas is picked off on a nice move by Jeremy Guthrie. So the Tigers are done after 1, no score.
And a really nice tag by Huff. All he had to do was drop the glove on Thomas, who had a huge lead over there.
So Jackson back to the hill, and here is Aubrey Huff. He will lead it off in the second. Huff, Mora, and Luke Scott for the Orioles.
When Jackson faced this team earlier in the year, boy, he twisted Huff up. He twisted Luke Scott up with some good breaking balls, nice changeups, and elevated fastballs.
And to do what he did against this offense in that ballpark was really kind of astounding to watch. Very impressive. Big swing there by Huff. 1-2.
Easy gas right there. At 95, right down the middle.
Edwin Jackson, one of the 4 representatives in the All-Star game this year for Detroit, and a wave and a miss.
Look out, Eddie.
That's his 3rd strikeout already.
I see you, boy.
Batting sixth.
Did you call him Eddie?
Yes, I did.
Nasty.
Look. With a capital N. He's got some stuff. Primarily fastball sliders, but when he has that feel for the changeup as well to go with the other 2, it could be a long night for the opposing batters.
Here's Melvin Mora. Melvin back at 3rd base tonight, 1 for 5 with an RBI in the series.
We put up that graphic detailing how many pitches Verlander and Jackson have thrown lately. Jackson said he'd like to limit the amount of pitches that he's thrown. He feels like he's thrown too many early in games. Therefore, he would like to pitch to a little bit more contact early in the game. Let him put it in play and allow the defense to work behind him.
2-1 on Mora. Jackson had that start against Texas earlier this year, 132 pitches, which remains a team high this year for Detroit. The 2-1. On the ground to 3rd, right at Brandon Inge. 2 up, 2 down. And so far, so good for the right-hander Jackson.
The designated hitter number 30, Luke Scott.
That'll bring up Luke Scott, designated hitter tonight for the O's. Scott, the DH, has hit safely in 5 straight. A couple of RBIs in the opener. Had a 2-run double in that game. And down the middle it comes for strike 1. Scott, originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians back in 2001. And we've well documented his numbers against the Tigers. They are eye-popping. Really hard to find any other player that has better numbers against Detroit in the amount of games that Luke has played against the Tigers. Just 12 career games and 23 RBIs. Two-one pitch. On the ground to the right side for Cabrera. Jackson covers. Easy 1-2-3 inning. We head to the bottom of the second at Comerica. No score. outs in the bottom of the second. Miguel Cabrera, who was at the plate when Clee Thomas was picked off in the first inning. He'll start things off here in the second. Cabrera, Guillen, and Ordonez. There's a strike right at the knees on the inside corner. One ball, one strike on Miguel. Cabrera 3 for 8 in the series. He comes in 4th in the American League with his average at .333. The league leader is still Ichiro at .364. He might be tough to catch, although we got Mauer hanging in there, and Mauer is probably not going anywhere. He's at .359. The surprise guy is Jason Bartlett.
He had a good year last year as well.
He's number 3. You do know this, though. Cabrera here at Comerica, he loves this place.
Yes, he does. This park was built for him. He's a power guy that bats in the middle of the order, but utilizes the entire baseball field, and that's why the batting average is .393 here at Comerica Park.
So it's a full count. Guillen waiting on deck. Swing and a miss, and away he goes. One gone. First strikeout there for Guthrie. By the way, this game is available in crystal clear, stunning high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Comcast. Stunning night. It's an HD night.
Good night for a win.
I would echo that thought without question. Here's Carlos. Hammers the first pitch well into left center field. Jones on the run. He gets there right ahead of the wall.
He can run. Ken Jones in center field. He made that play look easy. McGeehan gets a fastball down and slices it the opposite way, and it seems like every time Jones is running, and he's blowing bubbles out there. He's just having fun.
Very nicely done. Did that as well last night with a running play. Here's Maglio. Ordonez hitting in the 6th slot, playing in right field tonight. .261 batting average. He's had a couple of hits and an RBI in the series.
And Guthrie being led tonight by the veteran catcher Greg Zahn, who does a really nice game of calling and catching. Nice low target. Very animated behind the dish. And he's sharp, too. Look at that helmet.
Styling. Should get back out of play. Huff out of room.
You look good, you play good.
Is that how it goes?
That's how it goes.
Well, he does have some style to that helmet. There's no question about that. It is not understated.
Z-Man.
Wow. It's a pretty rough looking bird. Back up the middle into center. It's a base hit for Maglio. 2-out single. And the Tigers have their first hit of the night.
Nice piece of hitting here by Maglio. This ball's at the bottom of the strike zone. You see where the contact is made. All you have to do as a hitter is basically drop the bat head. You can see the head with good concentration. That's good setup there.
Two-out chance for Brandon Inge. The Tigers trying to get his bat going. Inge at .252 entering play tonight. Breaking ball drops in for strike one. 21 home runs for Brandon. Still looking for his first long ball to the second half. Driven high in the air, shallow left field. Reimold coming on to retire the side. So the Tigers get a hit. Strand man, we played 2. Tire, trust us, will make you happy you came in. That's a promise. And by AT&T, your world delivered. Back here at Comerica Park, Hey, batting stance guy is back. It's time for Guess the Stance. Check this out. See if you can name the big leaguer he is imitating. Stay tuned to Tigers Live post game for the answer. By the way, you can vote for the player of the game, and actually our text question tonight is a text poll question. No player of the game. We'd like to know, who was batting stance guy just imitating? Was it Matt Wieters, Eddie Murray, Ken Singleton, or Roberto Alomar? Text A, B, C, or D to 37338. Let's get back to batting stance guy. Give you another look. Greg Zahn leads it off. He'll be followed by Cesar Izturis and then Brian Roberts. Scoreless ball game. So far so good for the right-hander Edwin Jackson. Had a 1-2-3 second. Zahn at 248. 13 RBIs. He's behind in the count now. Zahn has been around in the big leagues since 1995. That was his first year. And the Orioles, the first team that he played in the big leagues with. He broke in with them and then since has really added some stickers to his suitcase. He's played with a lot of teams.
He is the nephew of longtime catcher Rick Dempsey, who now does some television work on the pre-games for Baltimore.
Wave and a miss. And Jackson has another strikeout. They're starting to pile up now. That is 4 of them. And here's another look at batting stance, guys. See if you can get this one. Here he comes. What do you think, Rod? You got it?
I got that one today.
Okay, yeah. You saw your 4 choices earlier.
I don't think I've missed one yet. I had trouble with one a couple days ago, but after I thought about it.
Which one was that?
I nailed it.
Ripken?
Ripken.
Here's his Izturis. You were probably rifling through all of the different stances that Ripken had.
He had a ton of them.
And then you finally arrived at that one.
This young man had a tremendous game last night. And for me, really changed the entire game when making that outstanding play against Everett early.
And a rollout here to Polanco. Yeah, that play would probably have tied the game if he doesn't make it.
The bases were loaded. Jones in center field has a real good arm, but if this gets through, I don't think Jones is able to throw out the base runner from second. That was for the 3rd out, and then the next half inning he comes out and makes another play to take a base hit away from Polanco. And he hit a home run, and he singled in a couple more. He had a night to remember last night at Cesar.
So here's Brian Roberts. Roberts 3 unassisted in his first at bat. Roberts now an 8-game hitting streak. Among his hits last night was a double, which was the, get this, 300th of his career. I mean, this guy just continues to pile up numbers, and since the time that he broke in back in 2001, there haven't been too many second basemen offensively that have been better. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I do know this much: that bat that he's using right now has got some hits in it, because it looks like it's been used for about 2 weeks now. And pine tarred all up, nicked all over the place. That's a good bat he's got right there.
How upset do guys get when they crack a bat or bust a bat up in a game?
They get mad when they bust these up.
Yeah.
Because you can tell he's been using this bat for a long, long time. That bat's got some hits in it. So they do get upset when they break a bat that has been as good to them as I'm sure this one has been to Roberts. I mean, usually guys go up there, bats look all new. Not that one.
So now when you get a bat, does it actually have a counter on it that says how many hits are in that bat?
No, that depends on Jackson. Because Jackson could saw that big boy off in a hurry.
Now the 1-2 offering. 2-2 on Brian Roberts. 2 outs here in the third, no score. Roberts also leads the American League in doubles with 38. Good hitter. Low 3-2.
They were entertaining the thought of trading him the last couple of years.
Yeah.
His name would always come up in trade talks. I think Jim Hendry, the general manager of the Cubs, really liked Roberts and always tried to get him in a deal, but they signed him to a 4-year deal, I believe, last year, so he's going to be around for a minute.
Well, he can hit, he can play defensively at second base very well, and he can run. I mean, there's not too much in this game that he can't do. I mean, his power numbers are decent for a guy his size. He's not going to hit 35, 40 home runs, but how many second basemen do?
He's got quite a few tools.
Again, the full count pitch, and ball 4. 2 out, base on balls.
He will not stay over at first base very long.
Chance now for Nolan Reimold, who struck out in the first inning.
Here's the situation with this combination of Jackson and Laird. You know Laird can throw. But teams do think they can run when Jackson's on the mound. And therefore, Jim may help him out with a pitch out on the first or second pitch if he has a feeling that Roberts is on the move.
Jones stole a base back in the first inning. Here's Juan Samuel, the former Tigers coach.
The legend. He's an outstanding third base coach as well. Very aggressive over there.
I've always admired what third base coaches have to assimilate at a very quick time. You know, they have to take so much into account. The hitter, the outfielder's arm, the situation, how many outs, the runner of the speed of the runner. There's so many things that you have to consider.
And they have to think about all that before the pitch and while the play is developing. Who the on-deck hitter is. Uh-oh.
Runner going. It was a stutter step, but no chance to get Roberts, who goes in standing up.
Wow.
He started, stopped, and then started again, and still stole it with no throw.
He did that the other day as well.
It's actually more of a shuffle, I guess, looking at that. Number 21 in the stolen base column for Brian Roberts. He's in scoring position.
Jackson's got that strikeout pitch going today, though. He can go one of two ways now with Reimold. He can come back inside with that 94-mile-per-hour fastball, or he can simply throw him that slider to get him to swing and miss. That slider's got some nice tilt to it tonight.
Bouncing ball to third, leaping play by Inge. Guns the tag, and he gets him. That is all for the Orioles. When we come back, we'll talk with Assistant General Manager Al Avila next.
the Detroit Lions ticket office at 313-262-2009. Mario and Rod, back to you guys.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Back here at Comerica Park, Mario and Pemba, Rod Allen, and a very special guest, Al Avila, who is the Vice President, Assistant General Manager of the Detroit Tigers. And today you can add another part to his title. We'll call it Proud Papa. Very nice to have you, Al. Congratulations. Your son, Alex, is a Detroit Tiger officially called up today. And I guess the first question, what's it feel like to be a dad of a big league?
Well, Mario, it's been very exciting. I was actually very surprised yesterday. I wasn't really part of the player movement in this case, and so it was kind of a surprise, but very excited about it.
Gerald Laird thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. Well, obviously when you watch your son play baseball growing up, and you are a big baseball family, no question about that, but did you see in Alex a chance for a kid to get to the big league someday?
Well, like any father that their son is starting out, you're hopeful, but being in the game as long, and I played a little bit and never got past past A-ball at 20 years old. I know how difficult it is. So you hope for the best, but you help them along. You want them to play for the fun of the game, without any tremendous or great expectations at a young age. But then as they get older, like in high school and college, then the expectations do grow, because then you do see the movement and the improvement, that all of a sudden you say, hey, you know what, he's got a chance.
Talk about how the day evolved yesterday. You talked about the fact you weren't involved in this player move, but usually it's the son that calls the dad and tells the dad, you know what, I've been called up. But you kind of knew before he knew, didn't you?
I did. Yesterday in the afternoon, downstairs, I was informed. Dave and I met with Dave and Jim Leland and our minor league guys, Glenn Ezell and Mike Rojas, and they told me about what they were going to do. And Tom Brookins, our AA manager, told them last night.
Now, did you call your dad, Ralph? I know your dad's in the Hall of Fame as far as scouting is concerned. He's been a baseball man for a long, long time, and I know you absolutely adore him. But who made that phone call?
Well, my dad found out. I called my father. He was actually here in Detroit on his way to the airport. I called him. He was already at the airport getting a flight back to Florida.
You better stay here a while. Huh?
And so I called him up, and I actually didn't get to talk to Alex until around I want to say 11:45 last night, because they had to wait until after the game to tell him, and he actually then called me up.
I know, Al, you and I have talked about this a lot, the catching position, which is what Alex plays, and you talk about how there seems to be a dearth of good catching in the big leagues. Did you kind of push Alex into catching when he was younger?
Not really. When he was younger, he did catch a little bit, but hardly done. I mean, he was mainly he pitched a lot. He played third base and first base. He was always a power hitter. He always hit third or fourth all through his amateur career, and he pitched. And then going into college. Now, I will say, though, a lot of guys, scouts and some coaches felt that at some point later in his career he would make that move. And his college coach, Jim Wells, made that move to his credit, and stayed with it through his junior year, and it helped him tremendously.
So if you can switch hit or bat left-handed and you can catch, you got a pretty good shot, don't you?
That's right.
You got some skill.
That's right. As a matter of fact, in college, he went in there as a switch hitter, and the head coach there, Jim Wells, converted him into a catcher and took away the right-handed bat and just told him, you hit left-handed only, and it's worked out so far. And our player development people here obviously have done a great job with Alex.
Granderson bouncing to first, and that is it for the Tigers. Al, we appreciate the time. Best of luck. I know it's an exciting time for you and Alex. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. That is Al Avila, the Assistant General Manager of the Tigers and proud father of newest Tiger, Alex Avila. Who are the only two Tigers with 20 or more homers and 20 or more stolen bases in multiple seasons. There have only been a couple of Tigers to do that. That is your question. Curtis Granderson has 19 stolen bases this year. So he's going to try and join that company. Name the other two, or the two Tigers that have done it in multiple seasons. At your Aflac Trivia tonight. Adam Jones leads it off as we go to the fourth in a scoreless ball game. And our thanks to Al Avila, who is very proud tonight with his son, the newest Tiger, and I can't imagine how that feels.
He can talk tonight, but he will not be able to talk tomorrow. His stomach will be in knots. And Jim Leland, I don't know if he changes his mind or not, but he said Alex will start of the afternoon game tomorrow.
2-0 on right-handed batting Jones.
We might not be able to find Al tomorrow. He usually sits up there with Dave Dombrowski.
He may be pacing quite a bit.
He'll be
tomorrow.
walking the halls tomorrow.
Yeah. Here are the numbers at Double-A Erie: 12 home runs, 55 RBIs, and he had a team-high 23 doubles. Hit hard, back up the middle, diving stop by Everett. What a play! That thing was headed to center field, and Everett with a terrific stab at short.
One thing about Everett, he seems to always be at the right place at the right time. This time, 2 steps and a dive, and the key is making a good throw across the diamond when you've got a guy like Jones running down the line that has really good speed. Real good concentration and a real nice throw. And courtesy of Lincoln Mercury Exmo.
Does a play like that show you how important positioning is?
Oh, for sure. You don't make that play unless you know the tendencies of Jones.
That ball was scalded, and he had a hit taken away. That is rolled foul down the first base line. Markakis the batter. Strikeout victim back in the second, 1 of 4 that Jackson has rolled up so far. Markakis 4 for 10 in the series with a homer.
Markakis got his 12th assist of the year as well, throwing out Laird, trying to stretch that bloop. A single into a double. He led the American League in assists as well last year with 17. I guess teams continue to try to run on Markakis. I don't know why.
You were talking about the fact that he pitched in college and threw in the 95-mile-an-hour range. In fact, he was drafted a couple of times as a pitcher by Cincinnati. The 2-2 grounded to the right side. Polanco will throw him out.
It's very important when you go up against this Orioles team that you somehow dominate the left-handers, and that's what Edwin has been able to do. First pitch, breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone, and pretty much everything is going to be down. Power fastball, easy gas, and then he finishes them off with another real nice slide piece for the strikeout. That was his 3rd strikeout of the game. And of course, that's always brought to you by Bell Tire. Cannot forget about the sponsors. What would we do?
Wouldn't be here. The 0-1 is a strike, 0-2.
Bell Tire is our longest running sponsor.
I'm trying to think of what I would be doing without Bell Tire.
Wouldn't be driving.
No, I suppose I wouldn't. I'll be doing a lot of walking, that's for sure. Here's the 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Boy, Jackson's on his game tonight. 5 strikeouts for Edwin. It's a 1-2-3 4th inning. Still no score here in Detroit. Here come the Tigers in a scoreless game as we go to the bottom of the fourth. No runs on 2 hits for Detroit. No runs, 1 hit for the Orioles. Polanco, Thomas, Cabrera in the Tigers' 4th inning, facing Jeremy Guthrie. We're talking about Guthrie a little bit earlier. He attended Brigham Young for his freshman season, but then he went on a 2-year Mormon mission into Spain and hadn't played the game for a couple of years. After he came back, he enrolled at Stanford and pitched in some big games there over in the Pac-10.
Good baseball played in that league.
He was 26-6 in 2 years at Stanford. I remember that big game. I don't actually remember seeing it, but the fact that he handed USC's Mark Pryor his only loss in one of those seasons. Pryor was just released by San Diego, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
What a shame his career has been, and with all that talent, all the injuries he's had.
You never know. That's why a lot of the scouting directors tend to steer toward college kids these days, especially when you're going after pitchers, because they've already pitched a couple of years in college and they're a lot more durable than the younger high school players. You don't know exactly what you're going to get in a high school player, but a lot of the scouting directors tend to go after the kids from Stanford and Arizona State, Tulane, some of your bigger schools, because they know they've had good teaching from the coaches and they've been battle tested.
3-2.
Wieters, Georgia Tech, starting catcher for the Baltimore Orioles.
On the ground to first, and a nice scoop by Huff. One away here in the 4th inning. And how about the Aflac trivia question again tonight? Here it is one more time. The Duck would like to know who are the only 2 Tigers with 20 or more homers and 20 or more steals in multiple seasons.
Gibby,
that's 1.
and Tram.
That's 2. 4 times for Gibby and twice for Alan Trammell. Here's Cleet Thomas.
Granderson will be the 3rd. He has 19 steals right now. It will be the 2nd time Granderson will have stole 20 and hit more than 20 home runs.
2007 the last time.
That's that year just about every Tiger had some tremendous offensive numbers.
Just off the inside corner. 2-1 on Cleet Thomas.
Polanco and Aguilio had 200 hits. Curtis, 20-plus doubles, triples, home runs, stolen bases.
That really was an unbelievable offensive season. And up and down the Tigers lineup, they had guys that just had career years.
Guillen drove in 100. But they didn't make the playoffs.
They did not. Fouled away.
It's all about pitching and defense. And you do need some offense.
Yeah, the Tigers are finding that out this season. They need to become a little bit better offensively here.
Really look no further than this Tigers team of 09. They are still in first place, and yet they have underachieved from a hitting standpoint.
Sailing toward the corner and left. Out of play. 3-2 on Cleet Thomas with 1 out in the 4th, no score. Drilled to center field, hit well. Jones on the run, gliding back for this one.
Adam is playing a lot shallower tonight than he has the first couple of nights of this series. Hey fans, Saturday afternoons were made for baseball, and this week the Red Sox travel to the Bronx to take on the Yankees in a renewal of their longtime rivalry. Coverage of Fox Saturday Baseball begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station. Jones has been burned by a triple in this series by Granderson and a double by Inge over his head, but it's going to be tough to hit one over his head tonight.
That was only a half bubble that time, not a full bubble. Cabrera batting with 2 outs. Strikeout victim back in the 2nd. Miguel batting .332. 30-year-old Jeremy Guthrie out of Oregon. Breaking ball low and away. 2-0 the count.
Good hitters count here for Cabrera. And we'll see if Guthrie gives him a fastball. If he does, you know Cabrera will get a pretty good swing at it.
Two and one. Mentioned Guthrie was a former first-round pick of the Cleveland Indians. And then in January of 07, they put him on the waiver wire and let him go, and Baltimore was there to scoop him up. Never really got too many opportunities at the big league level with Cleveland. 2-2 on Cabrera.
That is a good fastball there by Guthrie, and probably off the plate inside. But in a 2-1 count, as a hitter like Cabrera, you're looking to do some damage. He hit that ball off his back knee, I think. Change up.
And he got him with it. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. Another strikeout for Guthrie, his second. Game 3 in the series. Mario and Rod back at the ballpark, and so far pitching on both sides has dominated this one.
You got that right, and it's some good pitching in this series, really. Verlander the other day, then they have had a couple of kids that have gone out there and done a pretty good job. And how about Jackson today? He has been tremendous.
And the Tigers still trying to get that offense going. They have not been able to do anything in this game, and it's becoming just a little bit frustrating right now.
Well, I'm sure Jim Leland talked about the offense yesterday and used the word bewildered. He said he really can't figure out exactly what the issues are with the offense, but he did say that he talked to Lloyd McClendon about it, and he told Lloyd to simplify things, for the hitters. And I guess that's what you need to do. You need to try to simplify it. And the one thing about it, these guys have been at this level for quite some time, and they all know how to hit. It's just the point of getting it done.
The old see ball, hit ball philosophy. Melvin Mora leading it off against Edwin Jackson, who has fanned 5 batters through 4 innings. And he has given up just 1 hit. It was a single by Jones in the first. That's it. The 1-2. Popped him up. Cabrera in foul ground.
The Baltimore Orioles have not gotten good swings today against Jackson. An indication that his stuff today is absolutely filthy. And whether it be the slide piece at the bottom of the strike zone or the fastballs that he's throwing right down the middle in the mid-90s right by some of these guys, Jackson's got it rolling. And what he needs now is just a couple of runs to give him a little margin for error so he can go ahead and continue to pitch the way that he has started out pitching in this game.
Yeah, that is the key, getting him a couple of runs, and the Tigers just have not been able to do a lot of that this year when he pitches, and he has had some of the worst run support in the American League. In fact, the worst, or lowest, I should say, run support in the AL. Jared Washburn, another Tiger on that list, made his Tigers debut last night.
This much we do know, and it's a fact. Yeah, those numbers are going to have to change if the Tigers are going to play some games in October.
I don't think there's any question about that. Luke Scott, the batter. You know, we're talking about Jackson needing 115 pitches to throw 4 innings in his last start against Cleveland. Tonight he needed just 63, so he's been back on track all night long. The 2-2. He went around. Strike 3. Number 6 for Jackson.
These Baltimore Orioles hitters, they know Jackson very well because Jackson pitched in the American League East the last 3 years for the Tampa Bay Rays, and of course that's the same division as the Baltimore Orioles, so he's not foreign to them.
There's Greg Zahn.
He's got that real good changeup working today. Starting guys off with the changeup for a strike.
Jackson now has pitched 12 2/3 innings against the Orioles this year and has given up 3 hits, no runs. Also struck out 13 in that span. Dominance. What's going on in Cleveland tonight? Hey, there's good news. The Indians leading the Twins. Top 4. Ground ball, foul. Zahn, a strikeout victim, back in the 3rd. 38 years old now. He was once acquired by the Tigers in that Juan Gonzalez deal back in the late 90s. The Tigers then spun him off to another team before the start of the next season, so he never played in a Tigers uniform. Three and 2. There have been only 3 hits in this game, 2 for the Tigers, 1 for the Orioles. Is Turris waiting on deck? The well-traveled Greg Zahn has played in Florida, Texas, the Royals, Houston, Colorado, and a spell in Toronto as well before coming back to Baltimore. 2 separate stints with the O's. And he walked it. 2 out base on balls. The second walk tonight for Jackson.
The shortstop, Cesar, is
now is Turris. Cesar grounded out back in the 3rd, 0 for 1. That'll head back toward the seats in left field and foul. Cesar's not exactly what you would call a home run hitter. He has just 2. The home run that he hit last night was his 2nd, but it was his 1st since opening day this year. It had been a while between home runs, but the one he hit last night gave the Orioles a 3-1 lead. They would go on to win that ball game 8-2. Had a big game. 3 hits. Fouled away again. 0-2 on his Turris. Jackson here at Comerica Park. In his previous 11 outings in this ballpark, 5-1 record, 3.04 ERA. He's obviously been a welcomed addition to the Tigers' rotation, which has, of course, been anchored by Jackson and Verlander, and now Washburn. Of course, Cello has chipped in as well with a terrific rookie season. Jeremy Bonderman threw in Toledo last night along with Nate Robertson. A couple of guys on the horizon. Probably when they get back, will be pitching out of the bullpen. Chopper and a leaping play at first base by Cabrera. Side retire. They get a walk, leave a man. You're watching Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. This 18th through the 20th, take advantage of the August double play. Get 2 upper box tickets for only $29, 2 lower box seats for $49, a savings of $15. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. Carlos Guillen is leading it off. Carlos, then Ordonez, and then Inge. In a scoreless game. There have been only 3 hits. Tigers have 2, and the Orioles have only 1 tonight. Guillen hit a ball really, really hard his first time up to center field. He sent Adam Jones scampering back to the warning track.
He's got a chance to hit another one hard here. 2 balls, no strikes. Good hitters count. Missed it.
Got under it and pops it up. Second baseman Roberts. 1 out.
That's one thing about baseball. Carlos knows it. I know it. It's a fastball right down the middle, 2 balls and no strikes, and he just missed it. And you could tell by how long the ball stayed in the air.
Here's Maglio. Singled back in the second.
Like Maglio's made a little adjustment in his batting stance. Looks like he's crouched over much more than he usually is, and he's a little bit more wide open with that front foot.
Driven in the air to left field, hit well. Reimold back, see you later.
I like it.
It's a line drive home run for Maglio Ordonez, his 6th of the year, and there's our first run.
That may be the hardest ball Maglio's hit all year, and I mean that. That was an absolute bullet. He looks like he's bent over a little bit more at the waist. The knees are also bent. The front foot is open just a hair, and that allowed him to get to that fastball inside. He killed it. I mean, he crushed it.
third hit of the game. The home run by Ordonez makes it 1-0 Detroit. Here's Brandon Inge, and he looks at a strike. The 0-1 is rolled foul right by Gene Lamont. 400 feet the distance, the estimated distance on that home run by Maglio Ordonez, who has not had too much to smile about this year, but that one had to feel good. 1-2 on Brandon. In Joe for 1 with a fly ball back in the second inning. Two balls, two strikes. Went around, strike 3, and there are 2 gone. That is the third strikeout now for Jeremy Guthrie.
Let's take one more look at Maglio, and you see the feet here. You can see Maglio is a little bit open with that front foot, and now he gets it down. It's going to be pointed down toward third base, which allows you to get your hips through the baseball, and of course you've got that great hand-eye coordination that Maglio has, and when you do all those things right, and you make contact, and you allow Guthrie to supply some of the power, you're going to hit a ball hard. Can you remember him hitting the ball that hard this year? I mean, I know it's tough to say. We're in June, July, August. Where are we in? August? But
we're in August right now.
But I can't remember Maglio hitting the ball that hard. That ball was hit hard.
Well, when you initially said it, I said that's not the hardest hit ball, and then I thought
for him.
Yeah, I can't think of another one. I can't think of another one. I know he hit the grand slam. That was off a breaking ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
Here's the 1-1. Bouncer right back to the mound, and Laird will be out, and so are the Tigers. But home run by Maglio. 1-0 Detroit. Chrysler and Jeep Superstores. And by Wallside Windows. We can do that. We are the factory. Nice night for baseball here at the ballpark as the Tigers and Orioles get together for Game 3. It's been a good one so far. Tigers lead 1-0 on the Maglio Ordonez solo home run. Edwin Jackson has done the rest. Another nice crowd here tonight. And a picture-perfect night weather-wise. Brian Roberts leading it off. He'll be followed by Nolan Reimold and then Adam Jones. Fouled back out of play. No balls. 2 strikes. Only 1 hit allowed tonight by the right-hander Jackson. That was a single by Jones in the first. He's given up just a couple of walks the rest of the way. The 0-2.
And that single was a bloop single in the infield.
Oh, that's right. It didn't even get off the grass.
It did.
The infield grass, that is. That's into left field. Clee Thomas under it. 1 out.
The left fielder, Nolan Reimold.
He's racked up some strikeouts today. He's got 6 of those. And tons of ground balls. Not many flyouts today. He has rebounded nicely from his shortest outing of the year. Just 4 innings 5 days ago against the Indians. Boy, does he look good. He looks good.
Strikeout, ground out. In the air, shallow left on the pop-up. Thomas going to come in for this one as well. 2 outs. A couple of fly balls to left field to start the 6th inning, and now Adam Jones. Cleveland now leading Minnesota 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th, and the Angels have taken a lead over the White Sox 1-0 during the 2nd.
White Sox had a walk-off win last night against the Angels. Scott Podsednik had a base hit in the bottom of the 9th. How good has he been for them this year?
It's amazing. I mean, he left the organization. He was released by, I think, the Rockies in April, and now he's back in the big leagues playing a huge role for them. How does that happen?
He is probably the MVP of their club right now.
Really? You think so?
Yes, I do think so.
0-1 on Adam Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam Jones, with that infield single in the first, is 2 for 11 in the series. 2-1. Jones went to high school in the San Diego area, Morse High School, which has produced a couple of big leaguers. Jones, of course, Mark McLemore, and Sam Horn.
Big Sam Horn.
Yeah, he went to Morse High School. And Jones is the latest out of the San Diego area.
Tony Gwynn, probably the most recognizable name to come out of San Diego as a hitter. Jock Jones, who played a little bit for the Tigers last year, also from the San Diego area.
Hank Blaylock?
Yeah.
3-2 on Adam Jones. Tigers lead 1-0 in the home run by Maglio Ordonez. Markakis waiting his turn on deck. Fouled away. Of course, Adam Jones had the game-winning RBI, knocking home Curtis Granderson in the All-Star game this year after Grandy had tripled. Jones got him in with a sacrifice fly. Those two combining to help the American League gain home field advantage again for the World Series.
I think Jones was the late addition after Torrey Hunter couldn't play.
Fly ball right field. Ordonez coming in. And that's going to be a 1-2-3 innings. So we're going to the bottom of the 6th. Mr. Jackson in control tonight. inning in a 1-0 game. Tigers on top with a home run by Maglio Ordonez. It'll be Adam Everett to lead it off. Curtis Granderson and then Placido Polanco. Happy to have you with us tonight. Mario and Rod back at the ballpark. Mark Isofano is our producer this evening. Brian Moss, our director. And Adam Everett leading it off. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
Guthrie has pitched a real good game himself. He came in with the numbers that weren't all that favorable. 7 wins, 10 losses, earned run average approaching 5.5. But he's got great stuff. 95, 96 with the fastball, curve, slider, change. He's intelligent, but really hasn't put it all together this year for Baltimore.
Well, he had gotten roughed up in his last 2 starts. He gave up 6 runs against Boston. And the start before that, 5 runs also against Boston. But looking good tonight, allowing just 3 Tigers hits. The 1-2 is on the ground to the right side, foul.
Guthrie has been the opening day starter for Baltimore the last couple of years, and also pitched for the United States this spring in the World Baseball Classic.
In on his hands, and it's lined to left. It is a foul ball. Didn't miss by much. "76 pitches. Two and two on Adam Everett. Again, he barely misses. Greg Zahn flashing the signals tonight. Wieters, the rookie, caught the first 2 games of the series. That's in the air toward left field. Hit pretty good. Reimold almost to the wall.
Well, it's the 6th inning, and that means it's time for Coors Light Freeze Can. We're going to take you back to the 5th. The only run in the game, courtesy of Maglio Ordonez. He got a fastball. He opened up and cleared the hips out of the way and played long ball. Coors Light Freeze Can brought to you by your Frost Brew Coors Light.
One up, one away. Here's the top of the order now. Curtis Granderson. Curtis hits one into right field, but it's going to sink, and Markakis will make the play. 2 gone. Well, the race for the pennant is on, so don't miss a minute of the action. Get your 15-game race for the pennant ticket package today and receive priority to select postseason games. Call 313-471-BALL or visit Tigers.com. That video never gets old. Ever. Here's Polanco. He was racing around third base. Pulled foul. Placido is 0 for 2. One ball, 1 strike. Lined and caught. Right before it hit the dirt, they're going to throw it at first anyway, but the out was made on the line. That is all for the Tigers. They go 1, 2, 3, and let's go to the 7th.
baseball with more customizable features and new ways to play. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN and join the next generation of fantasy football. What was Comcast telling us about Edwin today? He's touched 97, and he's gone as low as 74 with a changeup and several pitches in between those two velocities. He is pitching one whale of a game.
Nick Markakis leads it off. It'll be Markakis, Huff, and Mora in the 7th, pitching a whale of a game. The Tigers have gotten him just one run. In fact, it is a one-hitter so far for Jackson. We mentioned in 8 innings he gave up 2 hits against the Orioles back in May, and there's your second hit. A little soft serve out there to left field. Markakis on with the leadoff single.
Well, you knew Markakis would get at least one. He came in with real good numbers against Jackson.
Make that an 8-game hitting streak for Markakis. Here's Aubrey Huff. Tying run is on for the Orioles. Not a good night tonight for Huff. Jackson has had his number. He fanned him back in the 2nd, fanned him in the 4th as well. 6 strikeouts for Edwin this evening. Jackson's strikeout high is 9. That's for the season. He did it at Minnesota back on the 4th of July. That's in the air. Shallow center. Polanco almost collides with Granderson, but the catch is made. Placido showing off some range there.
The third baseman, Melvin Mora.
And Granderson called this ball late and called off Polanco, but he started out playing very deep. Therefore, Polanco was able to get around it. And Granderson, still looking at Polanco, did not run into him. There was no collision there. But when you call it that late and your second baseman's already camped, usually your second baseman's going to make that play.
Here's Melvin Mora. Snap throw almost got him as Huff goes back in standing up, or Markakis rather. Markakis has swiped 3. He's 3 out of 4. Mora is 0 for 2. Drilled to center field. Brandy coming on to make the catch. 2 gone.
The designated hitter, Luke Scott.
Here's the pitch count by inning for Jackson. 102 total. Luke Scott, ground out strikeout.
Edwin Jackson usually gets lots of ground balls, but that's not the case tonight. He's getting quite a few fly balls in this game. Last 6 hitters have flied out against Jackson tonight.
Between the two teams, just 5 hits in the ball game. 3 for the Tigers and 2 for the Orioles.
Even though Markakis does not run a lot, and Jackson still making sure he stays at first base, or he at least gives Laird a chance to throw if he's running.
Ooh. The high cheese.
That's where you have to pitch Scott. Maybe not that high because that's a ball. Yeah, but if you're going to get him out consistently, you got to be above the belt buckle with good firm fastballs. And then once he's looking at the top of the strike zone, you drop a changeup on him or a nice slider.
Still making sure Markakis doesn't get too far off the bag or too comfortable down there. Another swing and a miss, and Scott is out. Strikeouts are rolling up now, 7 for Jackson.
Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, T-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and a whole lot more. And get it straight from Tigers.com shop.
Here come the Tigers in the bottom of the 7th.
Good idea by Thomas to bunt down toward third. He had a lot of room down there. Mora at third was playing deep and off the line at third. Still playing well off the line, but he's now even with the bag.
Thomas Cabrera Guillen in the 7th inning. Cleat is 0 for 1 with a walk. The difference, the home run by Ordonez, and that means Guthrie now is tied for the most home runs allowed in Major League Baseball with 27. Josh Gear of the Padres, 27.
It doesn't help that Guthrie plays half his games in that ballpark he plays in, Camden Yards.
You got to believe that has something to do with it.
For sure. Ball flies out of there.
2-2 pitch on the ground to second. Thomas out, 1 gone. Bring up Cabrera. Miguel tonight has struggled against Guthrie, a couple of strikeouts.
Guthrie has fallen behind Cabrera every at bat today as well, but he's been able to come back and get it.
Roll to third, foul. 2-1 on Miguel. Two teams wrap up the series tomorrow. The 4th and final game. Rick Porcello and David Hernandez. Carlos Guillen waiting on deck. 3 Tigers hits. 2 of them belong to Maglio tonight. Single and a homer. And there's ball 4. We're talking about tomorrow's game. Don't forget to join us tomorrow for the series finale. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. David Hernandez, Rick Porcello hook up in that one.
Boy, did Porcello have a lot of life on his fastball his last start in Cleveland. He was anywhere from 92 to 95 in that game and hit 95 several times. Very impressive.
Shattered bat into shallow center. Going to drop. Base hit. And Cabrera goes to second and holds there. Broken bat or not, that is a base hit for the Tigers. Their 4th hit of the game.
As a hitter, you'll take 200 of these. It's a fastball down. Looked like Carlos hit it right on the barrel of the bat, and the bat just shattered. Wood flying everywhere.
Comes Rick Kranitz, their pitching coach. Got Maglio coming up here with 2 men on, trying to extend a 1-0 lead. Talking last night about how Kranitz, I'm sure, is working overtime this year with all the young rookie pitchers that have made their big league debuts this year. Seen a couple of young guys in the first 2 games, Tillman and Mattis yesterday.
It helps to have a veteran leader like Kranitz, who has probably served as a pitching coach at every single level. He's been doing it a long time.
Clay Meredith tuning up.
Tigers need at least 1-2 more runs in this game. Give Jackson a little margin for error. All 3 of their outfielders have very good arms. 7 assists for Jones in center. 12 for Markakis in right. And Reimold, who plays left field, has a right fielder's arm. So Cabrera needs to get on his horse if Maglio hits one through the infield. And Gene Lamont will also have to make an early decision as to whether he wants to send Cabrera home.
This is the Tigers' first at bat with a man in scoring position tonight. Inside as he backs him out of there. 2-1. Little chin music there for Maglio, who took Guthrie deep his last at bat.
Good pitch. Speaking of chin music, did you see the whole little episode yesterday with the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers?
I did, yeah.
Prince Fielder getting hit late in that game and trying to get into the Dodgers clubhouse.
Man, if he would have gotten in, that would not have been a good thing. The 2-2 is on the ground at third, scooped up by Mora, fires to second, 1, and the relay is a double play. A huge double play for Guthrie. Let's go to the 8th. Zahn is Turris. Roberts coming up. standing the test of time since 1849. Here is your Comerica Bank game summary. Not a whole lot to talk about because not a whole lot going on unless you love pitching. Maglio has hit a homer in this game for the only run. Guthrie and Jackson have both been really good tonight. Jackson stretch it out over 2 starts against the Orioles. Pitching extremely well. We have a couple of defensive changes. Ryan Rayburn enters the game. He'll play left field and move Thomas from left to right, replacing Ordonez. 8th inning. Driven high in the air to center field. Off the bat of Greg Zahn. Routine, though, for Granderson. Fly ball out, 1 away in the 8th.
If I can have your attention, please. Now, pinch hitting for Baltimore.
They'll get a pinch hitter now for the Orioles. Ty Wigginton picks up a bat. He'll bat for his Turris.
He's going for a home run here. Yeah, he's going for one big swing here off the bat of Wigginton.
He gets a ground ball instead. We'll take that. 2 gone. Our favorite combination warming up, the Sea Lion. Bobby C. Brandon Lyon. Two gone. Here's the top of the lineup, Brian Roberts. Roberts a walk and a seal tonight. What a nice rebound start for Jackson tonight. He's had to pitch with very little margin for error. You got the home run from Maglio in the 5th inning, and that has been it. 1-0 Detroit.
He is definitely on a mission out there tonight. He has been a strike thrower, pounding that strike zone. He overthrew that fastball at 98. Reached back to get a little extra. What will be interesting to see is if he gets Roberts out, what Jim does in the 9th.
Swing and a miss. He gets Roberts out. 1-2-3 inning. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Ty Wigginton stays in the game. He'll play shortstop with his Turris out of the game now. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Brandon Inge leading it off, and Guthrie is back out there. He has pitched a whale of a game tonight. He came in with 100 pitches into this 8th inning. Meanwhile, 112 for Jackson through 8. So we'll see what the decision is. in terms of whether or not to bring Jackson back out. He's got the arm wrapped up.
And Rodney's warming up. And with his arm being wrapped up, he's not done.
Bouncing in. 2 balls and 1 strike.
At least that's my best guess.
I would agree with that. I know that Jim prefers to bring his closer in clean to start an inning, but you wonder if he'll let Jackson go out there. Of course, a lot depends on whether or not the Tigers get some runs here, maybe as well.
That's true. Well, Jim was making the comment the other day about Porcello in that game in Cleveland after 91 pitches and threw 8. A 1-run spread. He took Porcello out of the game.
It's a base hit. Brandon 1 for 3 tonight. Leadoff man is on.
And he said had that been Jackson or Verlander, then he would have allowed them to finish that game. That was 91 pitches. You said Jackson's already over what is it, 113?
112.
112. So, yeah, but you got to have your closer ready just in case there's any trouble for Jackson. And more than likely Laird is up there bunting. And so the Tigers can try to squeeze another run out of this. Maybe. On occasion, Jim will give him a chance to swing on the first pitch and then put the bunt sign on.
And if you're wondering, 7 sacrifices for Gerald Laird this year. No sign of bunt. Swing it away and he pops it up. They had the runner going.
Hit and run. Laird could not get on top of it.
It's a big out. 1 away. How about the assists of the game? The Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assists of the game. Tigers, a couple of good defensive plays tonight.
Well, one by Brandon Inge, taking a possible double away from Reimold. And then you got Everett. Well, what a play he made against Adam Jones. You make plays like that, you can drive a Mercedes.
And you probably will. Here is Everett.
Don't know for sure, but obviously that was a bunting situation with Laird up 7 sacks, trying to get another run. But Jim is not afraid to push the envelope. The envelope, I should say there.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Envelope, envelope.
Yeah. And I believe it was a hit and run.
1 ball to no strikes. Well, as you say, there are several different ways you can go. What do you think went into thinking of that hit and run?
That most people in the ballpark thought a bunt was in order. And I think Jim, on occasion, when it's an obvious situation like that, he'll go the other direction.
Flared foul back out of play. 1-1.
Hoping to get the infielders moving there, in which they were, but Laird just could not get on top of the baseball. Therefore, he popped up.
Everett is 0 for 2, couple of fly balls. Line drive, base hit. Left field line. Inge goes to second, and the Tigers are in business now here in the 8th. The other scorers we're concerned about: Cleveland leading Minnesota. That's good. 6-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Angels leading the White Sox. That's good. Top of the 4th inning. Tigers a 1-game lead over the White Sox. 2.5 up on Minnie. Dave Tremblay apparently is going to make a change here. So Guthrie, who has been fabulous tonight, outpitched at least to this point by Edwin Jackson, will give up the baseball and get a pat on the shoulder from his manager. Wallside windows pitching change. Hendrickson about to check in. Here he comes, and we'll be back. victory out of the game, and his numbers tonight.
He pitched an outstanding ball game.
He is responsible for the 2 men on the bases, and the big, tall left-hander Mark Hendrickson is in now.
Well, Dave Tremblay, the manager of the Baltimore Orioles, knew that Jim would not pinch hit here for Granderson with a 1-run lead because he wants Granderson in to play defense in the 9th. Therefore, he pulls his left-hander out to go up against Granderson, who has not been that good this year against left-handed pitching.
Hendrickson has played with 4 different NBA teams in the mid-90s. And also playing in the big leagues. You see the splits on Grandy. Struggling against lefties this year. Played with Philadelphia, Sacramento, the Nets, Cavaliers. Strike 1 on Granderson.
His numbers aren't all that good against left-handed batters. Left-handed batters hitting Hendrickson at a .258 clip.
Hendrickson, after his NBA days, played with Toronto, Tampa, the Dodgers, and Florida in the big leagues, and now the Orioles. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Huff for the out. Runners advance. It's going to bring up Polanco here with 2 away.
They've got a base open and a left-hander in the on-deck circle. You wonder if they're entertaining the thought of walking Polanco.
Or making a change.
One of the two.
Now Dave Tremblay coming out.
And Polanco going to have a chance to drive in a couple here then.
Yep, going to make a pitching change. So Hendrickson does his job. He gets the 1 out. Clay Meredith will be coming in.
What you got?
Switch hitters, batting stance guy imitating. Was it A, Matt Wieters, B, Eddie Murray, C, Ken Singleton, or D, Roberto Alomar?
Can we answer now?
No.
We can't?
No, got to wait for the post game.
Oh, we do.
Text A, B, C, or D to 37338. They're still taking votes here to try and see what the final numbers are. You can answer after Tigers Live, okay? I know you know it, though.
Yeah, I do know the one today.
All right, here's Polanco. He will face Clay Meredith.
Yeah, Meredith pitched a scoreless 8th against Detroit here on Monday.
Well, it would behoove the Tigers to add to their lead, and they can do so here if Mr. Polanco can come through with the 2-out hit.
Well, Meredith's the kind of guy that Polanco should not have any difficulties with putting in play for sure. Throws from down under. Little 2-seam fastball that will run right into the barrel of Polanco with that inside-out swing. And he has a breaking ball, but the breaking ball does not have a whole lot of depth to it. It's more of an east to west breaking ball across the strike zone from that angle that he throws from.
Rodney's still heating up. 1 earned run in his last 7 2/3 innings with no walks. Clay Meredith ready to go to work as Polanco digs in 0 for 3. Base hit here could get 2 runs in, and a strike called on Polanco. 1-0 Tigers lead. The home run by Maglio Ordonez has held up so far. Little looper back up the middle, and center base hit. Polanco does it. Jones up with the ball, has no play, and it's a 2-out, 2-run single.
I knew Polanco had it in him. He wasn't going to strike out. I knew that much for sure.
What a clutch hit there by Placido. He just served it into center field, and it's 3-0 Detroit.
That's what Polanco does. Little two-seam, actually a breaking ball off the plate outside that he reached out with one hand.
.49 RBIs now for Placido and a 3-0 Detroit lead. Here is Cleet Thomas.
And Dave Tremblay decided against walking Polanco with a left-hander, Hendrickson, on the mound to go after Cleet. And Polanco comes up with a big base hit, runners on second and third. I guess his reasoning was he did not want to load the bases.
Thomas takes a big rip. Well, you win some, you lose some. Tigers won that decision. Polanco getting a chance to hit and delivering. Thomas trying to keep it going. Cleet is hitless tonight, and he chops one slowly back up the middle. Roberts charging, barehanding, and he throws it away. Polanco is on his way to third. I'm going to stop there. Should be an infield hit for Cleet and an error on Roberts.
Roberts probably should have ate this baseball and not thrown it. With the speed of Cleet Thomas running down the line, he wasn't going to throw him out. As a second baseman, as a shortstop, you have to know who the base runners are. You have to know how fast they are. And judging by how fast they are, you have to know whether you really have a legitimate chance of throwing them out or not.
So a chance to get more now as Cabrera stands in. First error of the night for the Orioles. Miguel 0 for 2. Strike one from Meredith. Cabrera walked in the 7th inning, trying to pick up Polanco here. No balls, 2 strikes. All of a sudden, the Tigers have 8 hits. Only 2 tonight for the Orioles. Ground ball, base hit left field. Cabrera comes through. Polanco scores. It's a 3-run inning, and the Tigers lead 4-0. RBI 62 for Cabrera.
Well, Wigington is not a shortstop by trade, does not have nearly the range that his Torres has. And even if he's able to get to it, even if it says Torres playing shortstop, and more than likely Cabrera still gets a hit because he would not have been able to throw Thomas out at second base.
Tigers have a chance to pour it on now. They lead 4-0. Carlos Guillen, the batter. Eighth man to bat in this inning. Leave it outside. 1-1. Guillen 1 for 3. Hit a ball a ton back in the 2nd. That was an out, and then he shattered his bat and got a single in the 7th. That's how the game works sometimes. Brian Bass warms up. Nine Tigers hits in this game. Ground ball, fair at first, but gloved by Huff to end the inning. But a big inning it was for Detroit. 3 runs in. Brimel, Jones, Markakis in the 9th. rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And Edwin Jackson back out to the hill to start the ninth, and he hits the first batter. He faces Nolan Reimold. The leadoff man is on for the Orioles. G. Levant on the phone. Fernando Rodney was throwing quite a bit, and he is back up throwing again. Adam Jones will bat. .112 pitches coming into the inning, and he hits Reimold with the first one. Jones 1 for 3. Fouled straight back. Learned my lesson a couple of nights ago. I scooted out of the way of that one.
You came over here by me. Smart move on your part.
There was no chance of me sitting right here and getting nailed. I start bringing my glove. Now the 0-1. Only 2 hits tonight given up by Edwin Jackson. Boy, you'd love to just see him close this one out. It's been a spectacular effort tonight. Two balls, 1 strike. 4-0 Tigers lead. They got a cushion for Jackson with the 3-run 8th. Jackson's run support, by the way, will go up tonight. He came in with about 3.4 runs per game. Won't go up by much. Drilled in the air, deep left field. Rayburn turns, and it is gone. Adam Jones has sliced the lead in half. It's 4-2.
That'll do it for Jackson. He had a lengthy sit down in the bottom of the 8th. Tiger stayed at the plate for quite a long time, and it was very evident when he went back out for the 9th that he may have cooled off just a hair.
Well, he's going to get himself a huge ovation as he walks off this field. What an effort tonight for Edwin Jackson. They are on their feet here at Comerica Park. And it's a standing O. And Edwin Jackson deserves this ovation here tonight. He gives up the 2-run homer to make it a 4-2 game, but the crowd appreciates what he has done. And this is why a manager can't win, Rod, because when he brings in Rodney and something happens, fans want to know, well, why didn't you just let Jackson go? Well, he let Jackson go, and the 2-run homer has made it a 4-2 game, but the Tigers still in command of this one.
Well, one thing Jim has been able to do since he's been a manager, he knows how to manage the pitching staff. He is tremendous at bat, and he has a really good pitcher here to manage. His stuff today was tremendous, and from the word go today, he had that real good 2-seam fastball. He had the sinker. He knew that this team would come out swinging early and often as they did against Verlander on Monday, and he was not having any of that. So he went to some of his secondary pitches early in the game, and then later on he started finishing guys off with fastballs in the mid-90s. What an effort. What an effort. What an arm. One mistake today. That's the Jones. Here it is. And you really can't even call it a mistake when it falls in the mid-90s. Jones is a good player.
And for Adam Jones, his 19th home run, so it makes the game very interesting now. It's a 2-run game, 4-2, and the numbers on Jackson look like this: 8 strikeouts and 8+ innings. So the Orioles not dead yet. Jackson will give the baseball to the right-hander Fernando Rodney.
And Rodney looking for his 22nd save of the year. he got a win just the other day, coming in a tie ball game and pitching 1 inning before the Cleat Thomas home run.
Markakis will be the first man he faces a single in his last at bat. Ball 1.
He's got to go right through the teeth of their order.
.301 average for Markakis. Good change up there by Rodney Darts on the outer edge of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. There are not too many in the game that have a better changeup than Fernando Rodney. His is right there. There's a strike call.
He's got 97 to go with that changeup as well, which gives him 2++ pitches.
Another fastball, that one out of the strike zone. 2-2. Tigers led 1-0, then got 3 in the bottom of the 8th to go up 4-0, but the 2-run homer by Adam Jones has cut into the lead. Swing and a miss. 96. See you later. 1 out.
As a hitter, you have to have the changeup in the back of your mind when you're going up against Rodney, and there's no doubt Markakis does have that changeup on his mind, and that's when Rodney can throw that fastball by you in the mid-90s.
Aubrey Huff, the batter. Pulled into right field, base hit. Got a fastball and yanked that thing into right.
He did turn that bad boy around.
The third baseman, Melvin Moore.
So now the Orioles get another hit. That's their 4th tonight. That'll bring the tying run to the plate in Melvin Mora. 0 for 3 tonight for Mora. Day game tomorrow here for the series finale. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 0-1. Tigers 9 hits tonight, 4 for the Orioles. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Polanco. 2 gone. 1 more out to go. And here comes the crowd. 28,000 plus, almost 29,000 tonight. Luke's got their last chance. Ball 1. Rodney struck out Markakis, gave up the single to Huff, and he got Mora to pop it up. Scott is 0 for 3. Edwin Jackson hoping that Rodney gets a save in this one. It would mean a victory, number 8 for Edwin this year. Low, 2-1.
if you're Huff in this situation, you have to kind of gamble. You know that Rodney is not afraid to throw that changeup 2-1. And if he does throw your fastball, you just let it go by for a strike. But here's an opportunity to sit on a changeup if you want to. Scott, excuse me.
Now it's 3-1. Zahn waiting on deck.
Well, Scott's got power. Zahn does not have a lot of power.
And he walked him. That'll put 2 aboard.
I'm not so sure that Rodney, after falling behind Scott, did not want to give in to him.
Especially based on his history against the Tigers.
Oh, we know Scott's got tremendous power. And Zahn does not have much power.
Felix Piet pinch running at first base. That missed inside to Greg Zahn. 1 ball to no strikes.
Number 18, Felix Piet.
So Piet, the tying run at first with more speed than Luke Scott. And now Fernando trying to settle down here. One 1-0 on Zahn. 0 for 2. He's walked. And the 1-0. It's high. 2 balls, no strikes. Helpless feeling for Jackson. All he can do now is look on after giving up the 2-run homer to Adam Jones.
Well, throw it right down the middle and let Zahn hit it as far as he can. Do not want to walk him.
There's the strike. 2-1. This has turned into a stomach turner for Jim Leyland. It was 4-0 heading into the 9th. Bouncing ball. It'll go foul at first base. 2-2. So that'll bring the crowd back into it now. One strike away. Checked it. Did he go? No, he did not. 3-2. Wigginton lurking. Runners going and a bouncing ball foul. So they'll start him up again. This is where it becomes dangerous if the ball is put in play, because PA, the back runner, the tying run at first base, can run, and with a head start, Gamper would get him in. There they go. Got him. Strike 3. Jackson gets his win. Rodney gets the save. And the Tigers take game 3 in the series.
What a tremendous pitching performance by Edwin Jackson tonight. Getting only his second win in his last 10 starts.
10 strikeouts for Tigers pitching tonight as they beat the Orioles 4-2. And right now we send it to Mickey York with a preview.